you here in today's political rumbles here in Kowa TV. Yeah, with me here is Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chibazi.
Yes, we are to review the latest development regarding the slain lawyer, of course, that was killed on the 28th of December, and today judgment seems to be on the way. Of course, the verdict that the slain lawyer and the killer policeman has been sentenced to death by hanging. You think it is justice delayed or perhaps justice served?
Whether is he who kill by sword must die by sword, by the sword. So I think it's a welcome development, and it's going to be a lesson to other people who might think that they want to take away other people's life. But do you think that how many individuals are going to sign bear the cards out of the bar? Because how many executives, how many government are going to sign the death sentence? Yes, the court have just said it, that the death sentence has been served by the policeman that killed the same young man. Do you think that it is all everybody that's going to sign the death sentence? So I believe that whatever that have meted to that young man is what is actually deserved. Death sentence to whoever they killed, then it's not going to sound as a detriment to other people who might have decided, who might feel that they want to kill other sections of individuals. So it's a welcome development.
And having said the death sentence, do you think it is appropriate for the governor who should sign the final document to delay this justice?
No, it's not, because that is why I was asking. That's why I was saying that who is gonna bear the card out of the door, out of the I don't know how who is gonna do it? Who is gonna sign the death sentence? Why is the government? Why is the governors delaying the execution of that same young man? The court have ordered that the man should be sentenced to death. Then what is holding the so-called government? What is holding the so-called the number one citizen of that particular state to sign the death warrant of that young man? So I think if only they can come out and sign, I believe that it's going to serve, like I said earlier, it's going to serve as a lesson to other people who might have such such ideas in mind to take away somebody's life too.
It's so unfortunate. This was a woman who, on her way to shopping mall on the 25th of December last year, right? She was killed, possibly because of some misunderstanding that ensued. I don't know the reason for justification why a pregnant woman for that matter should be shot by a police, a trained police officer. I think, is it assistant inspector or whatever? You can imagine the level of radicality and abuse of power by the same people who should protect life of the supposed citizens. But this woman's life was not shot. A lawyer by profession on both sides was also killed in the same process. It's quite unfortunate indeed. This is happening in Nigeria. But for this judgment to have been served, don't you think it's because the woman is somehow exposed and is highly connected to some heavy weight? Otherwise, it would have been a forgotten issue.
That is actually the problem we are having in this country. If you are not highly recognized in the society, I don't think there's going to be anything like justice, irrespective of whoever have done anything wrong to you. So I believe it's because the woman in question happens to be one of one of the highly respected personality in Nigeria, and being one of the women in legal, as one of the legal practitioner, one of the members of the Nigerian legal practitioner, and people that have stand for justice to have taken place simply because of the woman, that same woman, that her life has been taken away by this young policeman. So I believe that is the reason why most of these people, this is the problem we are having in this country. They don't serve you justice. I know. I know. I just use that word young man. You know, it's a common language we use in Nigeria here. So I think it's because that same woman happens to be somebody in the society, not someone that people should actually joke with. But at the end of the day, you find out that simply because the woman and the man knows man. That's the problem we're having in this country. Man knows man. That is the reason why justice was not even delayed in the case of that young woman. Had it been it was a common man, it had been a forgotten story by now. So I believe Nigerians should change their mentality. Nigerian government should also change their mentality, irrespective of whoever that was brought down by any individual. The government should be able to know and fight for that person, not minding the position of that particular person holds in the society.
And away from that, the sex workers are now ambushing men at the mall. So, how do we get there? Would it be another system?
Yes, I am not in support of whatever that is happening based on the sex workers. The Nigerian government should hasten up their step and do much things about, because most of these sex workers, most of them are graduates from different academic fields. Most of them are nothing but the hope of their family. A lot of them are people, a lot of them are people from different academic worlds. But what are we seeing? We are seeing a situation whereby a lot of them have applied for a job from one particular place to another, but at the end of the day, what happened? That job failed to materialize simply because a lot of people at the helms of companies might have decided to sleep with them before they give them that job. So we are having a problem in Nigeria. So I'm not in support of sex workers in Nigeria. Government should be able to create job opportunities so that a lot of people will be able to change their mindset, because people from different family background, people from different homes and background, so that at the end of the day, you and I and most of these ladies that find themselves as a sex workers will be able to be gainfully employed. But a lot of them, you look at them, most of them are people that enroll themselves from different academic fields or the other. But what are we seeing? We are seeing a situation whereby most of these people do not have much time, mean the governmental officer, they do not have much time to do what? To help the poor masses in Nigeria, mostly job creation. So at the end of the day, what do you expect from most of these individuals? Sex workers will continue to go on nothing but an increase. So I don't blame them. I blame the federal government. Do what is right so that we should be able to know the value and the importance of being a Nigerian citizen.
Okay, the choice they make, is it as a result of their personal choice, or they were forced, of course, to take that as an option of survival? You see, that is what we have to consider, and possibly they may not have been patronized by the customers because of the economic mishap. Is it a decision they made up their mind, or they were forced as a result of the economic mishaps?
Everybody with his different mindset. And some of them might be forced, some of them might decide. It's a decision. Anything you take in life, before you do something, you might have decided to have started such thing. You might have decided, this is what I want to do in life. You cannot say because of economic meltdown, economic hardship. That is why most of them are finding themselves in such a kind of situation. A lot of us are here. A lot of us have graduated from school for years. We find out that there's no job, there's no this, there's no that. But we have not decided in one way or the other to go into forcing ourselves into doing what is not right. Because remember, you are carrying the hope of your family, the hope of the community, and the hope of the entire nations at heart. So you should not believe that because these people are forced because of the hardship of what we are passing through in Nigeria. That's the reason why most of them find themselves into doing such things or the other. But I'm not even in support of that. It's a decision they have taken within themselves, because out of the heart, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speakers, they have decided to say to themselves, this is what I want to do. There's a lot of million job that a lot of them can even find themselves into doing. even in the selling of pure water. I have seen a lot of people who sell pure water that today they were blessed by God, irrespective of whatever you do in life, as long as there's God's blessings on it. Forget about renting a very big shop. You can see somebody that started a business with ordinary 100,000 naira, but today he's a millionaire. So everything is all about grace and the determination and the choice of decisions you have made for yourself. So you cannot tell me we should not stand here and blame hardship for whatever reasons that most of these people are finding themselves into. So I believe
The reality is that no matter how we may want to, of course, condemn them, there are people who naturally wouldn't have resort to that because that becomes their last option. Not because 100,000 is not easy to come by. Imagine most of them may not have access to how to get the 1,000 or 100,000 to come by. And this is about the survival of today because nothing virtually, of course, they could fall back on. There's no social security for them. Nobody sometimes could reach out to them without thinking of exploiting them. You see, that tendency is rampant, especially within most men. And don't you think that the government, to some extent, should be blamed or, of course, be responsible for such, of course, moral decadence sweeping the entire country? The government has put the basic requirement necessities. Most of them will have jobs. I saw millions, but there is no facility to absorb them. Even in Nigeria today, you can see most people resort to Okada riding and not because there's no facility. You see, even when you train the work, you have a hand work, you may not have the power or to sustain the business. So, what do you think the government should do at this time?
let's not push everything only to the government. You have to also ask yourself this question: what are those people that call themselves men of God? What are they doing too? Because they are also part of the problem we are having in Nigeria. They are also part of this. Yeah, I was opportune to be in Port Harcourt some years ago, and I attended a particular church called APM, Omega Power Ministry, by Apostle Chibuzo, a man from other State that holds a shop in a church in a place called Rumoboko in Port Harcourt. This young man, what does he do? Every Sunday, he goes to the streets. Every Sunday, you find out that this man will have to bring not less than 50 to 20 prostitutes to his church and, convert them to Christianity. At the end of the day, he will ask you, what do you want to do in life? You will tell him, this is exactly what I want to do in life. These are things that I needed to do. Then he will rent house, he will give each and every one of them each a room, such self-contained room in the same area. Then what kind of business were you good at doing? A lot of them say, I'm a stylish, I can do this, or I take this money and start up your business. Before you know what is happening, husband also come directly from the church and they will get married. These are things the government should also, we are supposed to emulate. Not every day. Most of these people are, like I said earlier, most of these people are graduates. Most of these people are from a decent family. Most of them do not even, most of them, sometimes when you ask most of them, why are you doing this? They can't even give you a reasonable and a tangible reason why they find themselves in that kind of situation. Then at the end of the day, what happened? Government should be able to create job opportunity. I was listening over the radio this morning. They said Tinubu should stop lying to the whole world. Every day you are implementing, you want to do this, you want to do that. You are creating this, but there's no implementation of anything. All you are there is just to talk. So the government itself should be able to put a lot of things in place. Emulate most of these pastors. If we have about 50 pastors in Nigeria, that pastor was able to, let's say, if that same pastor that called himself Apostle Chibuzo, a great man of God, if the man can indemnify a lot of prostitutes to their normal position, bringing them to Christ and indemnifying them back to a very nice position, if you have there 50 in number and you brought 10, what remains to the 40? If another man of God can also come in and bring flush out 10, the government can also come and flush that. By so doing, Nigerian government will not even have such menaces again. Will not have such issues with prostitution in Nigeria. But the federal government are not doing anything meaningful. to foster the affairs of most of these our young ladies. A lot of them are first class graduates from different universities. Even the so-called lecturers, she also made the lecturers she also hold responsible for most of these things, because you find out that a lot of them are, before you get admission or before you pass a particular course, how many lecturers must have slept with you? A lot of them are forcing most of these young ladies into doing what they are not supposed to do. But we are in a situation whereby the government knows the truth, they know the right thing to do, but they will just fold their arms and watch, so that at the end of the day, what happened? They look at things as if they don't know what they are doing. They actually know what they are doing. So I am disappointed with the Nigerian government too.
Honestly, and the politicians who want to splash money through parties and all that, they resort to, of course, exploiting these young ladies who happens to be daughters and sisters and the future mothers and homekeepers. Well, but unfortunately, have been pushed to such extremity without having any part, of course, in building their future. It's rather unfortunate, and I do appreciate you for your wonderful submissions. And thank you so much, Esteem fans. If you're watching us, please kindly hit the subscription button, give us a thumbs up, and of course, comments on the comment section. Let's know what is your view regarding these topical issues, where the life of a young, vibrant and prospective mother was killed by the killer police cop. It is sort of unfortunate that we have these scenarios and experience on daily, almost on recurrent decimal.
What do you think should be done differently from the sentence that was passed against the killer police cop that terminated the life of that young lawyer, female lawyer, on 25th of December, where people are celebrating? But for such family, it was a very devastating moment. Good morning.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Chigose. Well, justice has not been passed. You know, I like to say the things, I like to speak with fact. This man, Dambi or whatever his name is, that killer cop, he might not be hanged. That's the truth. In Nigerian constitution, nobody can be hanged until the apex court rule in favor of whatever lower court has ruled. Now, as a citizen, he has to exercise all his right of appeal, even to the level of apex court. Otherwise, no government, no governor, can append his signature behind that.
Even after being culpable of such a homicide.
I'm telling you, that's our constitutional law. Right? The judge or the justices that said he should be hanged, he will still appeal it. And until when the Supreme Court says that, he will just remain in the prison.
Don't you think that is why most people resort to jungle justice, because they could no longer trust the flawed constitution, especially matters of such concern, where you plunge the entire family into unnecessary and unavoidable devastation.
Well,
and you still have your rights to which kind of, once you kill, you have virtually lost every right, of course, to defend yourself.
Well, you are not practicing an autocratic system of governance, neither are you practicing what we call totalitarian or what we call a jihadist kind of system like we have in Afghanistan and Palestine. What we have here is a democracy where every citizen has every right to appeal to the apex court, and especially when it comes to the issue of taking people's life, apex court needs to dwell here. The rule has always been there. This is how it is, even in America. But we Africans, and most especially Nigeria, I think what we should be saying is we have had enough of this democracy. I think we would rather thrive in even an autocratic kind of system. Because I've seen where people I've always said the president should take so many decisions without giving a recourse to the parliamentary. Now you say the constitution. For the constitution to be reviewed, we know those people who have to do it, who are the legislators. But in an autocratic or a totalitarian system, to hell with the National Assembly, The president says what he wants, and so be it. All right. Ordinarily, if we're in an autocratic system, immediately such issue happen, the president can just give an executive order, executing by hanging, and nobody will query that.
If his interest is not protected, right?
You understand?
And it also has this
I'm not,
negative
no,
aspect.
I am not politicizing my statement. I understand where you are trying to go. You are trying to bring politics.
No, when you call for an authoritative government, then sometimes it's being abused because absolute power corrupt absolutely.
You know,
The government might, if is it in his interest, might not want to carry out such.
the point is, may her soul rest in peace. The lady, she's gone, and nothing can bring her back. It doesn't even matter if they kill this guy. You know, because the family has lost the gem, they lost the mother, the parents. I mean, the children lost the husband lost the wife, while the children lost the mother, and that vacuum can never be replaced with whatever justice that.
Even the unborn twins that was not given opportunity to live.
So it's unfortunate. What we need is an overhaul of our police systems. It is unheard for that our police officers don't have a GCM system installed on them. This is a country whereby a police officer will be, ordered to go position himself in a bus stop or whatever. But when you are supposed to find them, on duty, they'll probably be in a motel sleeping with harlots, prostitutes. At the end of the day, if we have an unfortunate incident happening at the position where they were stationed, they will say they just went to eat or something. In a situation whereby they have GPS installed on them, maybe on their uniforms, in their boots, in their watches, or whatever, they can easily track their last, points of coverage. It is very simple. These things are not rocket science. So we need an overhaul of our police system.
Now, where do we start when you say we need an overhaul?
We need to start from the parliament. I'm always particular about the parliament, Mr. Chibus, because I believe they are the one that can get us on board. And the reason why I'm also particular about the parliament is because they are the only one that can sustain a policy, a good governance for over a period of 100 years. A president will only come, show his brilliance for maximum of 8 years. Afterwards, he leaves. But the parliament, we have some senators who have been there since 1999, right?
You're correct.
Now, these guys can remain there even till 2040. You understand? I've always said this. Some policies,
Most of which have exhausted their relevance.
yeah,
But they're there for the money.
we are the one, we the people, we don't focus on them. They are always of the mindset that what can the senators do? Meanwhile, they are the one that hold the key to our success as a democracy. Let me tell you, American democracy thrives because of their senators, because of their congressmen. The president dare not joke with them. Did you see what happened last week about a bill that was not passed? If they had not passed that bill, they would have had an economic shutdown. They would have had an economic shutdown. That is how to tell you that even in America, Joe Biden understands that the congressmen are the one controlling him. When in the US, especially when it comes to critical decisions. When they wanted to sign for this infrastructure renewal bill of I think $1 trillion, he had to lobby a bipartisan agreement. It took him over 4 months because the Republicans said no way, they won't do that. But you see, in Nigeria, we have left our senators out of the discussion, and we are so particular about the president. Until we do that, and even at the subnational level, the same thing. Okay, a perfect example that our state assembly are very powerful was when they impeached Obi. That is to tell you that a working national assembly can hold every state governor. Look at Obaseki, no nonsense there. Look at Ondo, this man, what's his name? Who is governing from Oyo State? Instead of him to be in the state house, he's governing from Oyo State. If it is Akeredolu, if the state assembly if they are serious,
if the citizens understand the power of the state assembly and they begin to hold them assembly, they begin to rally at their offices. As we have as people, we need to be bombarding the National Assembly at Abuja every time.
Yes, one concern.
We don't. And the truth is, we don't involve them in our arguments. We don't at any time. Because you and I will understand that we don't show much aggression, so much agitation against the National Assembly. We are so particular about the president. Look at you and I. We are saying that we need increment in minimum wage, and we say no that it is still the parliament that what it is still the parliament that will effect that that bill. Look at it. We have always said that we want development of power. Who are the people that will effect that? So when it comes to police reforms, the parliament are the ones that will say that, okay, our police officers, we want all of them now to have what we call real-time monitoring system. And they pass a bill to that effect, and every state will implement it. They can say that, okay, for state policing, all police should carry AK-47. No president can stop it. If they say that they want local government autonomy, the National Assembly, when they say that
All police should carry AK-47. Would it mean
state level, state police now, and I mean
police?
you know,
Not killings for the masses, because even when they were not empowered to carry AK-47,
my brother, we have to wait. Because the advantage overrides the disadvantage. In a situation whereby we were practicing a regional government, probably I'm sure the Northerners will vote for what their state police will have AK-47. But we in the South might say no, we don't want our police to have AK-47. They are okay with their what, their pump action and their what, and their battle. But in the North, they will vote for it outrightly that all their statesmen should have what? They should have what we call AK-47. Look at in America, when America was at the height of banditry, terrorism, they signed a second amendment whereby every citizen, having fulfilled all what requisites, can hold a gun. Doesn't matter the caliber of the gun, you can hold a gun. Okay, but you see, Nigerians, and who were those people that put to effect the second amendment in America? The Congress. That is the best amendment they've had so far. That Americans are always proud of that. We're not waiting for the next one.
let's go ahead.
You get the point. So our police, they need a total reform. Aside from the fact that we need CCTV, our police officers, they need a GPS in them. How can a policeman who is supposed to be at a station go to a motel to go and sleep with a woman?
Yes, just in a minute, there have been this report that sex workers are now ambushing the malls, all the shopping malls for men like you.
Oh no, I'm married.
As beautiful as you. It doesn't matter. I am married. This is beer. I am married. I'm responsible for appearance because you attract them. What they needed is the money.
But to correct that perception, I'm not a promiscuous man. All right, I'm happily married. Yes, we might have girlfriends there and there, but we don't carry, a prostitute. Yes,
on a lighter mood.
Let me tell you, I think the prostitutes are also feeling the effect of the economy. I mean, they have experienced what we call, a nosedive in their sales of recent. I mean,
their sales with their body.
It doesn't matter. I mean, that's their product.
Okay.
In Lekki, one night is cost around 40,000. No, okay.
Or could you blame them for such? Or do you blame the government?
Well, they are becoming too expensive. I think that is the issue. So they need to reduce their price.
It seems you need to beat down their price.
For them to meet their economy.
Okay, thank you. Let's call it a day, Mr. Nui. You are becoming too funny here. And you said they need to beat down their prices. Well, I never can know what that means and possibly what the bargain is. But whatever happens, I think it's rather unfortunate that the situation of the society, of the citizens, have been aggravated by these excesses. It's quite unfortunate because people are seeking for way of survival. And as such, to do anything within their powers to sustain their livelihoods. That is, unfortunate indeed. Most of which would have been saved, would have been resort to other meaningful way of engagement of course, make a living for themselves, but because of the economic harsh situation we are in Nigeria, most people have been forced, even those some married women are not left out, but that is not a subject of discourse today. Virtually everybody is looking for opportunity to survive. Good morning, madam. It's a pleasure having you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, you're looking very fantastic and
Thank you very much.
looking good as if this you're not part of this Nigerian economic mishap.
You know, we women, we know how to camouflage. It's not what you are seeing, you know, but we are just praying that God will have mercy on us. We have to look good, you know, and be happy. When you look good, you are happy within and without.
Happiness is a choice.
It's a choice, yes.
But for instance, when a woman was killed under pregnancy, unfortunately, by a man or an institution of government that should have protected her life and that of her unborn child, what do you think about the such society?
Yes, it's a very sad and pathetic case, actually, and very unfortunate, you know. But yeah, the way it happened was mysterious. You know, and it's not something that should have happened. I don't know what came over the police. Though there have been so many things that have been happening in the past. I remember a day that in the evening, I think we were coming from church in the night, and we entered a dark corner, and the police asked us to open our boots, and there was money inside. So the person was lifting me from church. So the man said he had to quickly drop something for the police so that they won't take his life. So you know, sometimes a lot have been happening undercover. Yeah, so I don't know their motive, I don't know the intention, I don't know the circumstance clearly, but it was very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Judgment have been served for the hanging. Could they be, of course, a deterrent? Could this serve as a deterrent to others? Could they learn from this?
Yes, it's a deterrent to others. Yes, it is. Though, you know, I would have pleaded for mercy, to temper justice with mercy, because it's been long we've had this kind of death by hanging, this kind of sentence in this country. I would prefer, with my human feelings, I would prefer it. But if the law we have discussed and people will learn from it, okay, no problem. But I really sympathize with that family of the police for the unfortunate sentence. And it's a very sad end, really. A very sad end.
Very sad end indeed. It is yet to be executed because the government has to sign for such. Now, how do you feel when the female sex workers are now, of course, barricading the malls in search of luring men, of course, to patronize them? This is Nigeria now. They are no longer hiding under covers. They are now out, of course, because of the economic mishap has pushed them with such desperation. What do you think become of the society?
It's really terrible, and I think that is where the government should be looking into. They should fish them out. Yes, everyone has a choice on what to do, and I don't support it. No matter how difficult the economy is, there is nothing that should push you to demoralizing yourself. You understand? Nothing. Because there are many jobs, especially in a place like Lagos, there are many things you can do to survive. So for me, that is where the government should be setting traps to ward off those things. If not, it will be uncontrollable in the future. It's not acceptable. Yes, there's economic hardship, but it's also a choice. Many young ones have chosen to come and work. I have young girls that work with me, and they have a choice. Yes, they tell me that many of their fellow mates want to do runs because they see the men too are ready to part with money, and nothing goes for nothing. That money they think they are getting, they are exchanging things that are bigger than them. Their future, their glory, many things are bigger than them. So it's not something that should be encouraged. By force, it must be stopped by force.
Do you think they care about the glory of the future when the present is not preserved?
They don't care.
It's just about survival of today, because you need to survive before you talk about the future.
Sir, are you not surviving? Are you not out to work? Yeah, they don't care, really, they don't care, but they should be made to care. It's because our society is just, people know, nobody cares. That is the reason why those girls can continue. Because some of those people are using charms. Some of those people may be armed robbers too. Yes, may be armed robbers. They may be using them too. So let it not be that they will go and kill one of their people now. They will say those girls should die by hanging. So they should take them off the streets because they can be used by ritualists, by armed robbers. They can be used by assassins. They can be used to give information. So they should be off the streets. Yes, people should go and do something. The government should look into providing any kind of jobs, and these girls too should think of what to do. They can sell small things, cook, fry buns, anything you do in Lagos, really edible things, it will move. So I don't support. They should clear them off the streets by force. Yes, by force. By force.
Those managing business hubs or malls should also, of course, alert their security personnel so that they will not, of course, create yes bad image for their businesses.
Yes.
Thank you so much, madam. I do appreciate your time. God bless you. Yes, you've heard it from a female of us regarding this topic. Once we have to call it a good moment because our data is fast spent, and we wish you all the best today. Please don't forget to hit the subscription button. Give us a thumbs up, and in any way possible, you can choose to support this project or prospect. Of course, Corewave TV is a TV and a concept and ideology that is driven by, of course, enhancing human development and building capacities as much as God grants us the enablement and the unbiased reportage of events. Whatever you can do to support us will be deeply appreciated. Thank you, esteemed fans. Remain blessed until we come your way in subsequent edition. Let's have that Mr. Dan in a few minutes. Before we round it up, good morning, Mr. Dan.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, happy to see you this morning. Yes, judgment seems to have been served regarding the slave female lawyer that was killed by the killer police cop on the 25th of December, possibly last year. So do you think it's a welcome development?
Yes, it is. I mean, no level of judgment can bring back the loss of that life, but the families of the deceased lawyer can take solace in that judgment. I believe that justice was served, and the killer cops has to got the maximum sentence of being hanged, and I think it is a welcome judgment.
You know, in Nigeria, everything is possible. It's one thing to get the maximum sentence. It's another thing for the implementation of the execution. We've had several cases that is yet unattended to, and possibly at the end of the day, we die down, nobody will hear it again. Also, do you think this will also take the same end?
Since some of those things cannot be confirmed, I think we can only hope that the people that have been saddled with that responsibility don't play games with the judgment that have been given, and ensure that whoever commits a crime must be ready to face the consequence. And I think that's where I want to put it.
And do you think that could be serve as a deterrent to those police force? Because people have heard about policemen. When I was traveling, his personal experience from Lagos to Abuja, the policeman said that was SARS then in 2013. He said that you can waste us and nothing happens, and claim that we are armed robbers. I'm going for interview, and the police, the boss man was trying to dodge some gallops before he can match break. I mean, he can stop. And they want to open fire on us. You can imagine the dexterity of a policeman telling the supposed citizen that you can waste them and nothing happens. So could this serve as a deterrent, or we having the heart of most of the notorious personalities within the police force?
Definitely, except such an officer is possessed with the devil himself. I think this should serve as a deterrent to erring police officers, overzealous police officers trigger happy police officer who just delights in pulling the trigger without thinking through. Pulling the trigger against an unarmed citizen and all of that. I believe strongly that it will serve as a deterrent, except the officer has been possessed with the devil.
By possess, you mean, of course, by stimulants, inhalation of some.
Not at all. I meant spiritual manipulation of the devil over such an individual.
Okay, thank you so much. Away from that, the sex workers are now on rampage. Could it mean that they no longer have the usual patronage from the men's folks? They are now barricading, ambushing men at the malls, shopping malls, and all that for a bargain. You know, is that a new development?
And what does that portend for virtually an average man is no longer safe, especially when you look good like the way you are looking.
I believe it's a social problem. No person in his right mind want to really be a sex worker. In my view, no person in his right mind want to engage in such a venture. But probably perhaps economic realities has pushed a lot of people into that sector, which is unfortunate. The desperation to have clients in quotes now has also moved them in places where they don't ordinarily go to
And the pressure to
shopping
pay
malls.
bills.
Exactly. So it's a social issue. It still boils down to the fact that people are not gainfully employed. A lot of opportunities are not being created as a nation. Also, people no longer have the fear of God in them in terms of their disposition to their creator and all of that. So it's as a result of a lot of factors which have been able to enumerate some. But it's unfortunate that we are now having that development. As to if men are safe or not, just as you have asked, I believe it's a choice. There is no level of ambition that would make somebody to keep negotiating what he's not ready to do. So I believe the onus is on men to take their
moment wherever you might be this morning. We appreciate you. Have a fantastic day ahead until we come your way in the next edition.